Welcome to the show. I'm Sergeant Richard Lloyd, Public Information Officer for the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office, and with me here today, I have Sergeant Roman Jackson. Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here with you.
Glad you're here.
All right.
What do you got to say? Got anything?
No. You did a great job in the introduction.
Okay, awesome. We're having a fun show here today. Sergeant Jackson here has been giving me a hard time, so hopefully we'll have a good show, a lot of information for you. So let's get started.
Let's do it.
First and foremost, we have welcome to our MediaCom viewers on demand. We have partnered with MediaCom. So this show, along with our PSAs and our commercials, are available through MediaCom.
That's great.
Which is pretty cool.
Reach out and touch on a lot more people now.
Yeah, so we want to get our Blab TV show out to more folks and share the wealth of knowledge and what we do here at the Sheriff's Office.
Let's talk about positions.
Go ahead. All you.
All right. Law enforcement, we have 2 positions open, and in dispatch, we have 2. So we're always looking for good people. We say this every time. Dispatch is a tough job. We definitely are looking for good candidates for that. And then we have the 2 law enforcement positions. So if you're finishing up the academy, come talk to us. Visit our human resources. You can do everything online now, and we'd love to get an application from you.
If anyone's interested, and I recommend this to a lot of folks, go on our website, santarosasheriff.org. Right. Under the program tab, there's a civilian ride-along program, and I think it's a great thing for folks who may be interested or on the fence. Come see exactly what we do and how we do it, and you can get to ride with some of our guys and girls and experience it. I mean, there's no other way to know if you're going to like it unless you go out there and you do it. And that's a great opportunity.
That's true.
You drive, you take ride-alongs, right?
We do in traffic and canine especially, because everybody wants to ride because it's exciting. So, but our guest today actually did a ride along with me back in the day, so we'll talk a little bit about that.
What year was that?
Later. It was quite a while ago.
2000.
I think 2012.
Wow. So our guest we'll ask him about that when he gets on.
Hey, Rich, we hear about this thing called the TEA spot.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Yes. TEA is what's known as the Temporary Employment Authorization. What does that mean to you? Not much, other than it's an acronym for we will pay and train you, put you through the academy as long as you give a 2-year commitment to the Sheriff's Office. So essentially, we're paying for the academy. You're already hired at the Sheriff's Office. You go through all your background and everything else, and you're ready to go. So once you're done at the academy, you come work for us.
Yeah, it saves you like $3,000 for the academy.
Is that how much it is?
I think so. I think a student told me the other day when I was teaching her it costs that much now to go to the academy.
So it's a good opportunity. I mean, you don't have to pay for your academy, and with our 10% raise that we were very glad for, that Sheriff Johnson got us with the assistance and partnership with our county commissioners. I mean, we're right on track. I mean, I think that it was a great thing.
I hope that we keep getting a lot of good people too.
Yes, great agency to work for, and just come out and see it for yourself, and just sign up for that ride-along program. Hey, one of the cool things we're doing here at the Sheriff's Office, kind of want to touch on, is our new drone program that we're working on.
Yeah.
That's really exciting for us. So we just want to get that out there. We're implementing this new program. It's in the very early stages, so you may not see it just yet. But the one thing I think is important to mention is it's only going to be used for certain types of activities, such as search and rescue, disaster, missing persons, assist with canine tracking. So it's and search warrants. So it has to be something that is used specifically for a mission, not just to go around and
deliver packages like Amazon.
Imagine that.
Our wives know all about the Amazon Prime.
I hear you. I know.
I'm waiting for the day that a drone drops in my front yard and puts something there.
That's going to be odd.
Yeah.
That is really odd. So that's coming in the future. We'll get into that in later shows. Active shooter training. Were you involved with this round?
Yeah, we've been helping out with it a little bit. Most of my canine guys and traffic guys, they actually help out with the scenarios for it, department-wide when we get trainees. So this class is good. It touches a lot with me. It definitely hits home because of my incident back in the day. So I think that kind of training that I did even then for active shooter, I think helped me a lot. Yeah. And so passing on to the new people is good, and it's a little stressful.
It is.
Pretty stressful.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it because it gives you the opportunity to do things you normally don't get to do. You get to go out to different environments, practice one-on-one, in some cases with your partners, 2-on-2, 3-on-2. So it's a great opportunity. But this time, when we went out to the different locations, we trained with different agencies.
Milton Police Department, Gulf Breeze PD.
Yep, and also fire departments. So they got to see how we conduct our operation and how they can assist us best.
Right.
And how we can help them. I mean, there's a lot of times it's a partnership with all these different first responders.
It is. And you never think you'd be involved in that, or you would think a fireman wouldn't be involved with it. When something really bad happens, you end up getting everybody there.
Well, sure. I mean, think about it. If you have the unfortunate experience, like God forbid, a school shooting,
Sure.
you're gonna have first responders coming in. You're gonna have the fire department there. Everybody's gonna come.
Right.
And they need to know. We all need to know whose role does what, where, when, and how, and they get a little bit of anticipation of what to expect.
Yeah.
When we go in and when they go in, and how we help each other.
Right. School is coming, and that means traffic's coming.
You know, that's both a good thing and a bad thing. I'm sure my 9-year-old is not very happy, but for me, it's a great thing, right?
Yeah, my teenagers aren't happy either. But let me say this, though. We get this calls every year about the traffic. We expect the traffic to be very heavy the first few mornings. We're going to do our best to get everything going smoothly, but allow yourself some time that first week. I don't care where you live in the county. It is going to be hectic because everybody's trying to get on a new schedule, and so just bear with everyone and try to keep a good attitude about it. I got to go drop my kid off too. I got to deal with it too. So I understand that everybody gets frustrated, but every year we get more and more people. You were talking about earlier, our population is growing in Santa Rosa County.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, with a 40%, from what I heard, a 40% increase in our citizens, you know, it's not the same. You know, our roads are used more. We have more school buses. We have a lot more activity.
Right.
And it's something you got to expect that first day. There's going to be traffic issues.
Yeah.
And let's not forget about the school zones. They are 20 miles an hour.
Yep.
And traffic will be out, right?
Yeah, my guys will be out, and they will be enforcing that pretty hard. So, fair warning.
Yeah.
Don't speed in school zones.
20 miles an hour.
You will receive a citation for it.
And it's doubled, right?
Yes.
So
and construction zones. Those are the two big things right now. We've got a lot of construction going on. So be careful in your school zones and the construction zones.
It's just a shout out to Captain Shane Tucker, who is
What an accomplishment.
Yeah, that's huge. Attending the National FBI Academy. I want to wish him good luck, wish him the best, and he's going to bring back some good ideas and resources to our agency.
Yeah. I mean, how many people in our agency have actually attended it? I know our sheriff has.
Sheriff has. I think that's probably it.
So maybe some people from the prior administrations have been there, but he's one of the first with our era of law enforcement to go. So congratulations.
Yeah, good luck to you. Multiple vehicle burglaries.
Let's just say what it is.
Yeah.
We need you to lock your car.
We do. We do.
I mean, there's no way we can cover every neighborhood at every moment, and we could drive through there and it just happened, and you've got video at your office to show.
I do.
It's happening so fast.
And in Navarre, just recently, Heritage Parkway area, all of the vehicles that were burglarized were unlocked. All of the vehicles that were stolen were unlocked, and those vehicles were used in the commission of other crimes during that evening. And all of the vehicles had their keys inside of them. Right. So folks, please lock your cars. Guns were also stolen from inside of these vehicles. So people left their cars unlocked. They were burglarized. They had their guns stolen, and you are putting guns in these folks' hands that we're going to have to end up going out and arresting. So please do us a favor. If you care about law enforcement, if you care about your fellow citizens, please do not leave cars unlocked with guns inside of them, because it makes it dangerous for us, because now we have to find these individuals that are armed.
I mean, let us touch base with you one more time on this too. The most valuable things you're leaving in your car is weapons, money, jewelry, things like that. Anything that you think is valuable, it is valuable. They're literally cleaning out ashtrays with coins in it.
Yes.
So please take your stuff inside, but most of all, take your firearms inside. We want you to have your firearms.
Sure.
You know, we're
absolutely.
pro firearm at Santa Rosa County, but take it inside with you. Protect your family inside your home with it. It does you no good in the car anyway. And we don't want your gun to get stolen, and it end up being a bad scenario, maybe for a deputy.
That's right. And you know, in all of Santa Rosa County, we've only had one vehicle that was broken into.
Yeah.
One.
The trends are changing. Like it used to be that they break your window and go, and now it's they just check the door handles.
Yep. And the thought process is, hey, if I don't lock my car, my window won't broken into.
Right.
One vehicle broken into this year. Hey, let's go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. Are we here?
Because you guys busted me stealing from cars.
So how were you getting into these cars?
It's easy, man. I just open the doors.
What do you mean you just open the doors?
Most of the cars I get into are left unlocked.
What are you looking for when you get into these cars?
Cell phones, wallets, guns, purses with money, and even sunglasses. You'd be surprised what people leave in their vehicles. If people would just lock their cars. If people would just lock their cars.
Welcome back to the show. We're going to recognize our sponsor for the show, Santa Rosa County Crime Stoppers, 437-STOP. That's the number you want to call if you want to get a hold of this guy. This is our guest, Anthony Maffa, who is with the Crime Stoppers organization. Anthony, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for
Welcome,
having
Anthony.
me. Thanks, man.
Glad you're here. Anthony is our local resident expert on Crime Stoppers and everything that goes on.
Anthony was a ride along back in the day.
He was your ride along?
When I was the real police.
Oh.
Or sheriff.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
How
Like,
long
I-
ago was it, Anthony?
2012.
12?
Said at
Yeah.
lunch.
12.
It's been a while. I was a canine handler, and yeah, he was young.
So
now
he's
look
been
at
around
him.
for a while.
Senior in high school, yeah.
Senior in high school.
He was one of the reasons I wanted to get into law enforcement in the first place.
Way to make me feel young, Anthony. All right, moving along, Rick.
Hey,
All
let's
right.
get started. We're here to kind of bring the sheriff's office home to you, and we know how important Santa Rosa County Crime Stoppers program is. We're a sponsor for the show, but it's a huge part of our success in putting people in jail. So tell us a little bit about what you do for the Crime Stoppers organization.
Well, as Sergeant Aloy mentioned, I'm with the Santa Rosa Crime Stoppers, and basically what I do is whenever a tip comes through our software, it'll come directly through my software at my desk and cut from there.
And then at that point,
And then at that point, send it out to whoever it needs to go.
it's really interesting when we watch how Anthony does his job and how the tips come in and they get received.
Right.
If you call the 800 number, right, that's a whole different thing than the software. Kind of tell the difference between the number and using the app or going online.
We switched over to a program called P3 from our old TipSoft. If any of you are familiar with our old TipSoft program, we switched about November, December of last year. There's multiple ways to submit a tip. You can either use our new app, P3, you can download it through the Apple Store. You can call 850-437-STOP, which is our hotline. And that is actually based out of Canada, which I'll get to later, which helps with the whole anonymity part of the Crime Stoppers. And you can also visit our website at www.srccs.com.
And there's also a website, which I just realized recently, that you could use to go to P3 Direct, right? What is that? P3 Tips?
Yeah,
right?
p3tips.com. When you submit a web tip, it will give you a tip ID, and it will also give you a password, or you can make a password, and from there you'll use that information to log back on.
That's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a lot of tips. You
We
send
do.
out a lot of tips.
We do. I think we're about 50, 60 tips a month, which is
Wow.
pretty solid for an agency of our size. So
A lot.
That's pretty good. And your tips go not only to the sheriff's office, what other agencies do you deal with?
FHP, Milton PD, Gulf Breeze, NAS Whitingfield, sometimes FWC. Sometimes we have tips that warrant a response from federal agencies like the FBI, kind of far and few between, but definitely a lot of other investigating agencies besides us here at Santa Rosa.
So 501c3, right? Nonprofit organization. And so you really don't have anything to do with the sheriff's office. It's just that you work for Crime Stoppers. And then that information, you send it out to the folks that work the cases.
Yeah, so like I mentioned before, when a tip comes through the software and I see it on my desk, I will decide at that point who to disseminate that out to, and they will go ahead and conduct an investigation, and if they come to a conclusion, they'll get back to me.
Okay.
So I have a tip. Let's work through real quick just so people understand. I have a tip. I know that there's this guy named Roman who is wanted on a fugitive warrant, right? Okay, and I don't want to say who I am. So I call, let's say for example, I go to www.p3tips.com. What do I do? How does that work?
Well, you can go, like you said, through our website. It's going to ask you, I forget how many fields, but it has a lot of detailed information. Make sure to provide as much information as possible. It'll ask you about, maybe if it's a narcotics tip, it'll ask you about what type of drugs are being sold, what addresses, what times people are stopping by. Just provide as much information as possible, which will, in the end, kind of help the investigators out.
And then there's a code. Talk about the code and how important that code is for people not to lose.
Yeah. So when you submit your tip, it's going to provide you with a tip ID code, and that code is basically like your lifeline through the Crime Stoppers program. Since it is 100% anonymous, if you lose the code, unfortunately, we kind of lose the connection with the tipster because they don't provide their name, they don't provide a phone number, an address, anything. And also with that code, they will provide you with a password. You can change that password, and you can therefore go and log in later on and view updates in your tip. Or if you have additional information, you can go ahead and provide it at that point.
one of my favorite things that I've seen is how folks will leave a tip and then follow up with, hey, like a couple weeks ago, perfect example, there was a guy that was driving down the road, they knew where he was, and then there was an update to it, and then the tipster immediately sent an update to that on a follow-up chat with talking to you.
Yeah.
And how did that work out?
They ended up catching the guy. So
And that is awesome.
perfect example.
So there's money involved with this, huh?
There is. It
I think
seems
it's
to be
people's favorite part.
the motivating factor there. Up to $3,000, and it's important to note that that is only for information leading to an arrest. Not every tip will be up to that amount. We have a software that kind of generates point values for different items that were included in the tip, how many people were arrested, narcotics value that was found, that type of stuff. But
let me ask you a golden question. Rich
got?
always asks me this. I get to finally ask it. What would you do with $3,000?
That's a tough question.
It is, isn't it?
Hurry up, you're on TV, you got to answer that.
What
That
would you
was
do?
my answer.
That's it?
I don't know. I'm a food fanatic, so I'd probably go on a food spree.
That's a
Kind of
lot.
hoping
of
to
food.
say you did
That
something
is.
for your girlfriend, but
Ooh, I hope she's not watching this.
wow.
Yeah, we tried to help you out on this, but you didn't take the road with us.
But 437 STOP, that's the phone number. P3tips.com is the website.
Yes, sir.
Oh, one more valuable question. I think, how long does it take for somebody to get paid on a tip?
Of course, it's going to vary. Some narcotics investigations take anywhere from a couple weeks to a couple months. However, whenever the tip is go ahead and paid out, we ask people to call on the third Friday of the month.
Okay. Awesome. Or check back on your app.
Or
something.
check back on the original tip that they had submitted.
And how does it work at the end? You just go and just get your money, right, from a bank? And
Yeah, we
there's a
provide
code?
we provide you with a reward pickup ID, and you take that code with you. Crime Stoppers, no name, nothing. You go to a selected bank that we use, and they'll just exchange cash.
Anthony, thank you for coming. We got to go to a commercial break. Appreciate
see you,
everything
Anthony.
you've done.
Take care.
And we'll be right back.
All right, thanks.
Why are we here?
Because you guys busted me stealing from cars.
So how were you getting into these cars?
It's easy, man. I just open the doors.
What do you mean you just open the doors?
Most of the cars I get into are left unlocked.
What are you looking for when you get into these cars?
Cell phones, wallets, guns, purses with money, and even sunglasses. You'd be surprised what people leave in their vehicles. If people would just lock their cars. If people would just lock their cars.
And welcome back. Want to recognize our sponsor, Santa Rosa County Crime Stoppers, 437 STOP, and that's Anthony's number here. And let's make people some money. Let's talk about our rewards. One of our favorite part of our show.
Favorite part.
So let's get started with the first person. First up is Carmen Mariah Tooley. She's a white female, 5 foot tall, brown hair, blue eyes, and she has an active warrant for a violation of probation, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia.
Next is a Bobby Prater, white female, 5'8". She has blonde hair and brown eyes, and she's wanted for fraud, illegal use of credit cards.
And next up is Latangle LaFay Hudson. I think that's how you pronounce that first name. If not, come see us and let us know at the office. She's a black female, 38 years of age, 5 foot 6 inch tall, black hair, brown eyes. She has an active warrant, and that is for battery, second, or subsequent offense.
Next is a Tiffany Marie Holloman. She is a black female, 5'6", black hair, brown eyes, and she is wanted for obtaining a controlled substance by forgery and fraud.
And next up is Jimmy Ray Giddens. He's a white male, 25 years of age, 5 foot 11 inch tall, brown hair, green eyes, and he has an active warrant for burglary and grand theft.
All right, the next one. Richard Edgar Fillingham Jr. I think that's right. 5 foot, tall, 170. He has brown hair, blue eyes. He is wanted for possession of a controlled substance without prescription. If I got your name wrong, please come see us. We'll correct it.
Yeah, next up is Connie Mae Dunhue. She's a white female, 23 years of age, 5 foot 7 inch tall, black hair, hazel eyes, and she has an active warrant for larceny.
Next is a Gabriel Alejandro Despolo, I believe. He's 5'10", black hair, brown eyes, and he's wanted for an order to take into custody, violate drug patch program. I think you give me all the hard ones.
I don't know. Anthony did this, and look at mine. Rachel Nancy Chittick. White female,
go.
25 years of age, 5 foot 5 inch tall, blonde hair, green eyes, active warrant for failure to appear, burglary, false ID given to law enforcement, and also petty theft.
Okay, the next one is Brittany Barnes, and she
Middle name?
Shaya.
Cheyenne.
Yeah, 5'11", black hair, brown eyes. She's wanted for. All right, get ready. This is a book. Violation of probation for possession of a controlled substance, driving while license suspended, operating a motor vehicle without a valid license, fraud, failure to appear for fraud.
And those are all of our wanted fugitives for this week. They're active as of July 26th. Show's recorded, so some of these individuals may have been caught by the time you see this, but if you have any information on these individuals, 437-STOP, srccs.com, P3 online.
Anthony, you were supposed to give
Come
him
on,
the
Anthony,
hard
this is your
ones.
part. And man, I got to tell you, you did a great job in getting us some really interesting names this week.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
That was.
and then he gives me all the hard ones. You're supposed to hook me up.
Maybe next
Anthony
time.
does this, and then he puts our initials next to it, and I noticed
Right.
he did get more than I did
I
this
did.
time around.
There you go.
It's a
So,
setup, but it's good.
Yeah, 437-STOP. Give us a call. Let's get these folks off the street.
I got some new news about K9.
Tell us. That's
So this is hot off the press. Just happened.
Yeah.
We're going to be getting a new drug dog in the schools. We're replacing K9 Iggy, who many of you know has been with us since 2010. We're going to be replacing her. She's just coming up in age. Nothing wrong medical-wise. The deputy's going to get to keep her, and she's going to retire with him. But we're getting a new dog for the schools. That'll start August 14th. So this school year, you'll see a new dog coming around.
What kind of dog is it?
He is a German Shepherd.
Nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
he's smaller framed, and I think it's gonna be really good for the schools. So look out at the demos and stuff, and you'll see him.
Do you have a name yet? Oh, you don't want to say it.
We do, but I'm gonna keep it a surprise.
Okay, keep that as a surprise. One of the things we want to make sure we touch on, which is really important, is we just located a skimming device at one of our local retailers. It was on an ATM. So we want to mention that there's been several recovered throughout Santa Rosa, Nescambia, and Okaloosa County. So we just want to give you some tips on how to spot one of these machines. First and foremost is, if you can, make sure you use the same ATM all the time. Get very familiar with it. That way you know when it doesn't look right or if there's an issue. Second is, take a look at the entire machine when you first pull up. The one that we recovered, Sergeant Jackson, was a box that was on top of the machine with a camera on it. And that camera was videotaping somebody's fingers going in there and putting in the code. And then, you know the part where you slide in your credit card?
Right.
They had bought the same exact one and slid it on top of it. So your credit card was going through the fake one into the real one and
Wow.
capturing your video.
I'm just gonna say, I'm too lazy to crease something like that. You don't have to worry about me stealing anything, because I'm not gonna come up with something like that.
If
And I'm
you
not smart
just
enough. So.
use your mind for something more productive. But anyhow, look for loose parts. So when you first pull up to that ATM machine, pull on that little thing there. Don't destroy it, because we don't want the banks to get mad at us for saying that. But just
Right.
look for loose parts. Shake and pull it a little bit, see if it moves. If it moves, be very careful. Look for those little cameras, and they do look like they kind of appear, but they can't get the paint right for some reason. Cover your fingers. That's a big one. So when you're putting in your code, just put your hand on top of it. And most importantly, just be observant of the entire area. Because an individual like this can get a ton of credit cards and PIN numbers within a very short period of time. So I just wanted to give you some tips on that. What else we
good.
got?
Well, let's talk a little bit of stats. I know people like to hear about
Yes.
numbers, obviously. I know on the canine end of it, we're on track to have double the utilizations of what we had last year. And when I say utilization, that means that anything that we use the canine for, and the officer actually notifies dispatch and says, I'm on this scene, or I'm doing this with the dog. So we're on track to double what we did last year, and that's going to be a lot for us for the year. So.
And speaking of stats, we have, for the Sheriff's Office, we are averaging 416 calls for service a day to our dispatch center. That's a lot.
Wow.
That is in a 24-hour period. That is our average number of phone calls that are coming in. Last year, we assisted animal control services with 359 animal-related calls. Within a 2-week period, we completed 98 traffic stops. That's a lot of traffic stops.
That's a lot. That really is. How many tips do you take in, you think, a week?
In a week, probably about 10 to 20 tips a week.
Wow.
Solid.
So, and I know some of the tips you send out, like my traffic guys and canine guys, they love them when you send them out because it's like giving them a gift. You're right, it is very detailed. I mean, we get some good information off of them. I just know that we didn't ask you earlier, and I was just wondering in relation, that's quite a bit.
It is. 36 written reports per day. And we have an average of 10 arrests per day. That's a lot of activity. That's a lot of work from our staff. And a great job to all of them. I mean, they really do a lot. But 416 calls a day.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
That's a lot. I think you answered a call last night even.
I did.
See, he works, folks.
Yes, I do. Not just a stapler and a computer. And I don't play solitaire, Sheriff.
Tell him the new sport you are taking up.
Oh boy.
Oh, all right. I'm taking up golf. I'm not that good, but I'm gonna try. So that's one of those things.
I'm gonna wish you luck.
Thank you. I need it because I don't know the first thing about it. But I do have a cool set of clubs.
Oh, you'll look good.
What was the other thing? Counterfeit bills. We're finding counterfeit bills in the north end of the county, Santa Rosa, actually Pace and Circle K. We've seen several of those.
Right.
So just be on the lookout. Be very, I wouldn't say suspicious, but just be observant. Take a look at that, especially if you're getting it from somebody, Craigslist or something like that.
Yeah.
Be just very cautious about that.
All right.
There we have it.
Good. That's it. I think we covered it.
All right. So, hey, want to thank Anthony for coming down, taking time out to
Thanks for
come on our
having me.
show.
Good seeing you.
And Sergeant Jackson, as usual, thanks for coming by.
Until next time.
All right. And thanks for joining our show. And we will see you next time. Take care.